El favor de dar, ponerse de pie, de darle un gran aplauso y a invitar al señor Larry Raskin, presidente de ventas de México.
Thank you. Please have a seat. Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Did Roger Velasco do a great job? And he's knocking on the door of regional director. I spent time with him at lunch and along with a couple other people, and all I can simply tell you is I'm very excited about the leadership in this room, and very excited about what I'm going to talk to you right now about regarding Latin America. How many people are excited about Mexico and Latin America? And hopefully what we've done for you in the first half, and we wanted to certainly give that presentation in Spanish, because this is a meeting that is slanted toward the Hispanic community, specifically those people that are from Mexico or Latin America, because we're going throughout Latin America in the next couple of years. What I want to do is give you a little bit of a narrative, a story that will make sense to all of you in the room. Because I believe that if this meeting was put together the way that I wanted it to be put together, this room is filled with business leaders and business owners and people that have contributed successfully to the advancement and the growth of a company or your own company. Because when I started ACN 23 years ago as an I.B.O. in the field, there wasn't really much to talk about other than I was representing a startup company. And what I'd like to do is kind of give you that storyboard on the beginnings of ACN, so you all know how you are perfectly and strategically positioned to really do something extremely significant in Mexico. We are 30 days away from the pre-launch, where all Mexican prospects will then turn into what we call brand leaders for our mobile service that will be the next gigantic global brand in Latin America. The name of our brand is Flash Mobile, and it will be significant in terms of what we've created. The logo is amazing. The collateral materials are amazing. And just like Virgin has its reputation, and Movistar and Telcel have their look, we're going to have a look, all right. But we're going to have a look of fun, excitement, savings, and just a brand that you want to have. And so we're very excited. I'm going to explain to you a little bit about your positioning, and I think at the end of 30 minutes, you will then understand the significance of this meeting for you maybe today. What I want to do is kind of tell you a little bit about these co-founders. When I met them 23 years ago, they didn't look like this. They looked like kids. I guess I looked a little younger too. But they are four great men that had a vision of taking advantage of worldwide deregulation, the telecom and energy space. And man, have they done an unbelievable job. Wouldn't it be a tragedy if the company outgrew the founders? Wouldn't that be a tragedy? Meaning that the company grew, but they didn't grow with the company. They were smart enough to put great people in the proper places. And all I can simply tell you is that the result is 24 years later, we are spanning 4 continents, soon to be 5 continents. Tomorrow we launch our 25th country in Japan. The second most successful, the second largest direct selling country in the world. And I have been asked if I would lead the expansion into Latin America over the next 3 to 5 years and quarterback this particular initiative. I can't begin to tell you, I've been on the ground for 20 months in Mexico. I've been all throughout this beautiful country. They are beautiful people with a beautiful culture. They have passion. They have love for one another. Their families are so important to them. And they taught me a couple things about living in the moment. See, what's beautiful about their culture is that they don't think of how big their house is or how fast their cars are or how the things that are material. They really look at what is really important, and that is the relationships, the family, the children, the education, and to enjoy life as it is right now. And we could learn a lot if we just studied how they enjoy the moment. Now, I will tell you, the Mexican dream is much different than the American dream. The American dream is about how much and how big and how fast. The Mexican dream is like this. If I had enough money to go on the nicest vacations with my family and to see them enjoy one another and have these memorable moments, wow, that would be awesome. If I could send my children to the best schools. You see, because in public schools in Mexico, you may not know this, in public schools they have to have uniforms. And every September is always a negative attitude month in September for parents in Mexico because they have to raise the money for new uniforms and they don't have the money. Now I want you to think of that for a minute. And so they want to send their kids to the best schools if they can and just give them the essentials of life. And the other thing is they'd love to have the car that they'd love to drive. And believe me, it's not a Bentley. It's not a Cadillac. No, if they could own a Jetta, oh my gosh, if they could own a Ford Fusion, a Ford Focus, that would be a dream to not have a car that they have to fill up the oil and check the gas. That's a joke. I'll say it slower. Fill up the oil, check the gas. Okay. So they want to have the car that they'd love to drive. And last but not least, if they could have a home, an apartment, a small home, in the area that they'd love to live in. Man, I just described to all of you the Mexican dream. They don't think about estate planning, even though in every society there is the elite. There is the millionaires and billionaires and multi-millionaires, and man, do they have them in Mexico. But I'd like to share something with you that is the reality of Mexico. I know it's in here somewhere. There it is. Listen to this. This is a report by the World Bank Income Report. The World Bank, you can check this out by just finding it yourself. No problem. This measures the income levels and the demographics of every country in the world. What I'm going to read you is the 2015 statistics for Mexico. As it relates to income, the extremely poor, which make up 18% of the country, make $506 a year, $42 a month. The extremely poor, which represents 34% of the population, their annual income is $2,647 a month, or $220, a year, or $220 a month. The middle income, middle class, they earn $7,870 a month, which represents 42% of the population, or $655 a month. And the affluent, the upper income category, outside of billionaires and millionaires and multi-millionaires, right? The average income for the affluent is $60,372, or $5,000 and change a month. That makes up 5% of the population, leaving 1% and a fraction for the millionaires and billionaires. Here's my point. 1% of the population controls 99% of the wealth. And we're talking about, folks, residual income that they have never experienced from a direct selling company ever in the history of our industry. We're talking about residual income that's never been part of a network marketing company ever in the history of that region of the world. Because every direct selling company and every network marketing company that has ever been in that region of the world has sold perfume, jewelry, makeup, skincare, personal care, and wellness products. Not one company has ever sold a service in Latin America until now. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. The beautiful thing is that we know what's at stake here. I have been part of ACM for 23 years, and I facilitated the growth of the United States in many other areas. And we, over the years, provided a global opportunity, a world-class company to create world-class entrepreneurs that if they have a laptop and a phone, they're global. Just like the 21st century says we can be. But I want to share with you the story when we started. It all started in 93, 94. That's when I looked at it. No one was making any money. No revenue. Follow me. Right? People say to me sometimes, Larry, I wish I got started when you did. Oh, really? You do? Okay. We had no revenue, no one making any money, but the founding vision of our co-founders simply said, this worldwide deregulation will happen with you or without you. We created ACN because of it. And whether you like it or not, agree with it or not, or participated in it or not, it's going to happen. And ACM will be perfectly positioned to capture redirected revenue moving away from monopolies for the very first time in history. In excess of $1 trillion will be thrown up in the air for grabs. And we can redirect and rechannel that through your bank account, and you get a piece of the redirected revenue. Sounding good so far? Yes. Yeah, well, it just so happened the fear of loss was so great. I didn't know these guys. I didn't know this company. It was a startup company. How would I know them? But it felt right. It was in the pit of my stomach. What if these guys are absolutely right? What if everything they say turns out to be like they said, and I don't do this? I scared myself into the company. And I planted my ACN flag. And it didn't matter what came this way, I went that way. And the way I looked at it is that you were either the steamroller or part of the pavement, but you better pick one quickly. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. And we created such momentum and so much massive success that by 1998, we became the 22nd fastest growing privately held company in North America. We created so much massive success and momentum, and people became financially free, those that facilitated the growth of this country well in advance of it happening. So I'm asking you, now that years have gone by, 2 decades have gone by since then, and we are the #1 company in the world. We generated billions upon billions of dollars in revenue over 24 years. Last year did $821 million alone. This year will be a $1 billion company. Certainly next year will be a $1.3, $1.4 billion company, with Japan and Latin America opening up for a first full year. And all I can say is, do you have the vision that I had in 1993? I don't know. We'll find out. But massive success and massive momentum. And in 1999, they said, Larry, go find us some people for Europe. Go find us some people for Europe. And I and all the current leaders in the company at that time, we went and recruited some people for Europe. 2 of the 10 people I recruited, 2 of which were Art Napolitano and George Zalek, who became top money earners, #1 money earners over the last 16 years. they put in about 2 million customers, not a bad recruit, wouldn't you say? In 2004, two other things. Well, I should just simply say, here's what happened. 18 countries now open and operating as a successful hybrid. We do wellness, we do personal care through our Lumine and Benevita lines, along with telecommunications and energy choices, all throughout Europe. And as Europe expanded, I was a co-pilot to Artie and George, opening up country after country. For the most part, half the countries I helped them open, and I can simply tell you, the people that were positioned well in advance of each one of these countries became the beneficiaries of the largest incomes residually. Do you see a trend going here? Yeah. Now, in 2004, Australia and New Zealand opened up. First time deregulation, never had an option over a monopoly. We met all the federal guidelines and the regulatory approvals of being a telephone company and an energy company. We participated in the rechanneling of the revenue. And I can proudly say, in the last 90 days, we've had some of the biggest production months since of the last 12 years they've been open. Alive and well is Asia Pacific. I was very fortunate to be asked to help lead that in about 2012, 2013. I oversaw that operation in 2012, 2013, spent 100 days each year in Australia and New Zealand. Don't feel sorry for me. It's not a bad place to build a business and to see part of the world. Is there a cost for that? You know, I am married, I have 5 children. Yes, there's a cost. But you see, I believe that each one of you have a calling. I believe that each one of you has a specific destiny. Some of you don't know why you're here, meaning in this room. Well, I want you to just understand one thing. You were asked to come into this room for one reason. Because someone else thought that you are of value to the future of our company. And I want you to know there's no need for any resume. I don't need to know what you've done in the past. The only thing I can tell you is that I can't see the size of your heart on a resume. Because this is all heart. It's what have you done today? And what do you want to do tomorrow to make a greater impact on the world? Because how many people think that the ACN opportunity can help people out with this kind of socioeconomics and demographics I shared with you? Now, so that's what's happened in Asia Pacific. We launched Asia in 2010. And we started off slow, but we exploded in growth in Korea. It's been amazing to see what has happened in Asia through the leadership of Danny Bay and so many of the other leaders on that side of the world. It's been unbelievably explosive. They have a hybrid model there of services and products. Are you ready to hear about Latin America? Yeah! Now we're going to be in the mobile business. It's 5 years in the making. Mexico is the 5th largest direct selling country in the world. As a matter of fact, here's what I can tell you about these beautiful people. They grew up in their DNA knowing how to direct sell anything. They can sell anything to anyone. And anyone would be more than happy to listen and or buy and or pass on what is being sold. But they all support one another. Is that something? Yeah. As a matter of fact, they love direct selling, network marketing so much, you will find that most people in the network marketing business are in 2 companies, not just one. They can't get enough of it. Now, why is that? There is a reason why. Because there's no way that they could support themselves on the jobs they have. No way. No way. They got to have a way to supplement their income. And when I think of the amount of people in our company over 23 years and the tens and tens and tens of thousands of people that have minimally earned $1,000 a month. Let me tell you, $1,000 a month to a family in Mexico is like $20,000 a month. It will radically transform their lives. Radically. Now, I've grown, I should say, the U.S. I certainly grew Europe, most of it. I have been all around the world in supporting and training and teaching leadership, identifying leaders, recruiting a lot of them. But I have never felt more of a mission over my life, more of a calling over my life, that where I'm about to go in this region of the world. We will do more in impacting lives in the next 3 years than what I and ACN have done in the last 23. And I'm looking for people that want to join me. Are you open?
Yes.
Wow. Telcel, which is the largest wireless company there, they control 72% of the market. AT&T, which owns Usacell, and Nextel, they own about 7 to 8% of the market. Virgin and Movistar, Virgin Mobile, Movistar, they control about 18% of the market, leaving about 1.5% to the small MVNO operators, which are mobile network operators, with very little margins to go out and get some customers and earn residual commission. And we beat every one of their plans on what we're coming out with 100% of the time by 10 to 30%.
That's you.
I get a bigger response in different audiences. How many people do you believe in Mexico want to save money on their wireless bill if in fact quality is not a question? Let me explain to you, we have negotiated the most significant, ambitious, and aggressive contract with any mobile provider than we ever have in 24 years, and they got the largest footprint in Latin America. Are you excited now? Yeah. 128 million people, man, that you can count, right? It's a proving ground. Mexico is a proving ground. All that simply means if it works in Mexico, it'll work all over Latin America. And we're the first and only direct selling network marketing company in the history of network marketing in that region of the world to ever covers all of history, ever to market a service. How well do you think we're going to do? Let me tell you, people in Mexico, just ask them, ask your relatives, if not yourself. They are sick and tired of product. And what does that mean? They know they have to do something else, and that's all there is. But you see, here's how product works. It's called, you're making money on the reoccurring purchases of a product they don't necessarily need, versus residual income on a service they can't live without and would love to pay less for. Hello? Is that exciting?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy. There's 5 points I want to bring to you today. 5 value propositions we're bringing the people of the wonderful country of Mexico. Number 1, we're going to save them money. We're going to bring true value to them. Number 2, we're going to show them how they can get it, their service, for free. They're going to get 5 customers and get it for free. And let me tell you something about people in Mexico, especially the direct sellers. Here's a big win in Mexico as a direct seller. If you like that skincare, you'll sell enough of it so you can get yours for free.
Right.
And that is a huge win if they never make any money. As long as I can get my products for free, it's a win. But if they can make an extra $200 or 10,000 pesos, 5,000 pesos, oh my gosh. That will change the way their family lives month to month. And if they make $250 or 5,000 pesos, how real is 10,000 pesos? If they make 10,000 pesos, how real is 20,000 pesos? And 20,000 pesos today sounds like a lot. Wrong. It's about $1,000. Because the peso is devaluing right now. But we can't control that. So I want to give you some more information here. Number one, we save money. Number two, we're going to show people how to get it for free. Number three, every new customer that we acquire, we are going to feed a nutritional meal to a hungry child in Mexico. So the target, by the way, is not August. That's why we called it a target. It's September 1st. So 30 days from now, we can put people into the system in Mexico in the new starting fee that we've created, and I'll go over that in a second. The hard launch is October 1st, and we are on track for the hard launch as well. 106 million active mobile lines. Mexico is one of the fastest growing wireless areas in the world. Smartphones is the fastest growing segment of the industry in Mexico. 3 ways for Mexicans to sign up in the United States. Number one, they have a social security number. Fantastic. You're ready to go. Number two, because you would rather be paid in the dollar than the peso. Yes or no?
Yes.
Absolutely. So social security number. Number two is personal tax ID number. Number three is corporate tax ID if that applies. And without any one of those 3 requirements, you'll have to wait for the pre-launch day of September 1st, okay? So the target date is September 1st. Now, new I.B.Os will be starting under the new starting fee of Mexico because it cannot be what it is in the United States. It's way too high, okay? So the starting fee for Mexico will be less than half of what it is here. So you're looking at around 4,000, 4,200 pesos, all depending where the pesos is at the time we launch, right? So we believe, looking at all of the direct selling companies in Mexico, can you believe there are direct selling companies that have starting fees as high as 20,000 pesos? 17,000 pesos, 15,000 pesos, 12,000 pesos, that means $1,000. 700, 600, a bunch of them with 500. Folks, we're going to be around a little over 225 US dollars. Now, when that happens on September 1st, you can start structuring your downline. That means you can start seeing it build on the back end. But you see, right now is when you begin. Look, I've done this so many times. If you work your face off, and you do it with all your might, around your busy life, around your schedule, around your kids. Look, man, we're all busy. Let's get over that. Do you want to radically change thousands of lives forever? And in the process, you're rewarded for that by how many people you help. You help enough people get what they want, ACN will make a way for you to get what you want through our compensation plan. Now, build a downline, you'll be able to build, be able to recruit. So just imagine, you started making calls. You're recruiting all U.S. Latinos. Why? Because you want to build it here first to take it there. Build it here to take it there. So we're going to call into Mexico, talk about what is coming. The largest direct selling company in the world is coming to Mexico to build the next big global brand in Latin America. You've got to be part of this. You've got to get on this webinar. You've got to get on this conference call. You've got to get with my upline, the leader that I'm working with to explain that to you. And I'm going to make sure every leader that's dedicated to this market gets the messaging to stay on point with the message. I don't want you going off on a tangent, saying things you shouldn't be saying, and illuminating the truth. The truth is the truth. Stick to the point, stick to the message. Do we have to overstate? Look, you'll drastically change somebody's life with $1,000 a month. Why do you want to talk $10,000 a month? They won't believe you anyway. But I do know this, if I'm making 1,000, 2,000's not far behind. If I'm making 2,000, 5,000's a possibility. And if I'm making 5,000, I mean, I'll become a Mexican bull. And people will be jumping in their windows. Because here comes a bull that hasn't been fed in a while. You show a Mexican young man or woman how to transform their lives forever, and the only way they can do it is by saving everyone they see, everyone they walk by money, because no matter what carrier you have, we beat them. I don't know. I don't know what other carrier is helping you get your service for free, but we do. I don't know what other carrier, is doing what we're going to allow you to do. And I haven't even began to tell you all that we're doing. But it's an excitement to know that we can empower the lives of people that are the heads of their family to stand proud again, to raise their head and throw their shoulders back and say, now I have the vehicle. I always knew I had a chance, but I never had the vehicle. This has given me the vehicle. Is that exciting?
Yes.
So here's what happens. The race begins from the launch to pre-launch. The race begins. The gun goes off. That's how, when the pre-launch happens, it should say from pre-launch to launch, not from launch to pre-launch. Okay? I sent you the wrong slide back. That's okay. I'm doing good. You don't even know that. We're going to start with corporate webinars. I'm going to quarterback these. I'm going to have some of my top Hispanic RVPs and SVPs doing it in Spanish, because you should. You got to respect the culture. You got to speak their language. True? Yes. And as I'm learning Spanish, and believe it or not, it's fun for me. I'm learning the language. And I give myself a year and a half. Okay, 2 years. But I'm going to learn it. I'm going to die trying. I'm going to learn it. It's a beautiful language. But I'll come on at the end of these corporate webinars and paint vision. Right? Somebody will translate me. Maybe I'll do 2 minutes of the back end, because I'm going to make sure all of our leaders are well prepared for the message they should give. Now, we're going to have a compensation plan for Mexico that is better than the United States and will be available in about 10 days. Okay? And when it becomes available, right, you will have it. And you will be an AIA, an ACN in action, that will let you know about that, and you will be able to download it. And of course, I will put out an AIA around that period of time and talk about a webinar for all those people in North America that want to hear about the messaging that we need to give for Latin America. I will be addressing all the people, there'll probably be thousands of people on this particular webinar going through this on a GoToMeeting type of platform. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay? So here's what happens in the pre-launch. So you work hard right now. The first day of the pre-launch, if you get busy, you can have 100 people signing up the first day. Now imagine if you had one of those leaders that was a go-getter in Mexico. He starts like next week, but he puts like 30 people together. Everybody's racing to get their money if they don't have it, right? And September 1st, let's say, just say this individual has 40 people sign up September 1st. But we're going to be doing webinars every single day. If you like what you heard on tonight's call, who are you going to have on the call tomorrow night? Countdown, 28 days to the hard launch, 27, 26, 25, 20, 10. You get it? Yes. And we're going to create such fear of loss and such a sense of urgency that that person that started with 30 could have 300 by October 1st. Are you getting this?
Yes.
Now here's what we're going to allow people to do. If someone goes coordinator in the first month, which we believe will have about 20 to 30 people going TC in less than 30 days. Imagine this. We're allowing them to earn money at the TC position from the very first I.B.O. they put in. Which means people could be getting checks for 10,000 pesos, 100,000 pesos, 200,000 pesos, 300, 400, 500,000 pesos in 1 month, because we're allowing people to do that. Now just imagine that for just a second. Imagine how fast those stories will circulate all throughout Mexico. Imagine the people that are flat in their income in product-driven companies. And most of them are, by the way. But they have to sell product just so they can earn a little bit extra money. You heard the numbers. You see what's going on here, right? They have to do something. So here's what my recommendation is. I know you can't see it back there, but I coined these phrases years ago. All-out massive action. AOMA. Everything all the time, every day around your busy life, around your busy schedule. And I became OOC. Out of control. I was out of control. Why? Because not only did I need to change my life 23 years ago, I knew that I could only do that by helping other people win. And I can't think of an area of the world where we can help more people win than where we're going. Is that exciting?
Yes.
So here's some facts. Average age of a person with a mobile phone is 27 years old. It's not 51% of the population owns a smartphone. It's more like 57% owns a smartphone, and 86% of the lines, 86% of the lines are prepaid. That means bring your own device, no contracts, no credit checks. And our inventory is a little SIM card. Our inventory is a little SIM card. October 1st, when the gun goes off, everybody's putting the SIMs in the side of their phone. Each starter kit will have 5 SIMs in the starter kit. Why? So they can get 5 customers, which will give them free service. Is that exciting?
Yes.
Listen to this. You will be able to activate and provision a customer within 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That means they pick a plan, you give them the SIM, they activate, provision the phone, they pick a plan, and here's what else we're going to do. There are 10,000 locations to top off prepaid carriers plans every month. I.B.O, 7-Eleven. The way the prepaid business works is you go to an I.B.O, you go to a 7-Eleven, right? Or you go to inside of a store if it's traditional, and they top you off for the month. You can stay with the plan you're on or up your plan, or do whatever you want. It's prepaid. You got that?
Yes.
But here's what we're going to allow you to do. Each one of us, we're going to have the ability to be a human I.B.O. So at the point of sale, when you pick a plan and you pay for it, here's how you pay for it. You give me the cash. I bought the minutes in advance. So let's say I bought 1,000 minutes. The company ACN or Flash Mobile is going to give you 1,050 minutes. So you're going to get a 5% commission, right, on every minute you buy. Now here's the reason why we're doing it. We're going to pay I.B.O. or we're going to pay you. Why not pay you?
Right.
So at the point of sale, you can get somebody on the service smiling and dialing right away. Is that exciting?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, some of you are looking at me like a deer in headlights. You may not fully understand the significance of that. How many people are from Mexico in the room? Can I see your hands? Because a lot of, am I speaking true? Yes. 10,000 locations. Now you're a human I.B.O. and you can fill up anybody's phone. After the first of the year, listen to what we're doing. After the first of the year, let's say somebody's with Telcel and is happy where they are. They don't want to change. Here's what we're going to allow you to do. We're going to allow you to top off the competition. So we're going to be able to reload phones that want to stay where they are. How do you like that? So whether we take you as a Flash customer, great. Whether you want to stay where you are, I can just make money by topping people off. Now let me say, well, that's not a lot of money, you say. That's not a lot of money. That's not a lot of money. They don't make a lot of money. And if they can make an extra $5 a day, are you kidding me? Changes their life. Doubles their income. Or certainly adds to the value of how their family lives and what they can do. Very, very exciting. This is a picture of our Latin American headquarters in Mexico City, off Sorrentes, on the south side of Mexico City. It is a beautiful office. How many people have been to our Latin American headquarters? Okay, about 5 of you. Is it beautiful?
Yes.
We have spent $15 million US spent. Not planning, it's spent. Are we committed to the region?
Yes.
We're there long term. Next year, not 2 years, next year, we're opening up Colombia, Chile, and Peru. So who do you know in Mexico? You didn't know in the U.S., Canada. We just launched Puerto Rico last month. I was there at the launch. Puerto Rico is alive and well. We got great opportunities there. So understand this. The bounce back is unbelievable. So you can put people in the business in Mexico. And their brother lives in Texas. And they're excited about the ASEAN opportunity in North America. What's different about Texas? Well, it's only the largest energy region in the world. And let's say that brother starts putting in a whole bunch of energy accounts. Now that I.B.O, that brand leader of Flash Mobile that's living in Mexico, is making overrides on energy bills in the United States. You see, they have a global business too, a seamless and transparent opportunity that pays them in their domestic currency. We do all that for you. And see all those services at the bottom, all those business services, and all those residential services. I want to make sure that you stare at them just for a minute. God, do me a favor. Just stare at them. I want you to know what they are. It's the coming attractions for Mexico. It's the coming attractions, folks. Well, I don't know. How many people in this room are afraid of success? Don't be. Because if you say you're too busy, I've never done anything like this before, how could this thing work? Let me just tell you, you're just throwing yourself a whole bunch of lies. There is no one too busy and there's no one that makes too much money. I want you to know that. It's a total cop-out. You know the reason why successful people are successful? Is because they listen to opportunity and decline 95% of them, but they're looking for that sweet 5% in their wheelhouse. That 5% that only comes what? It's percentages? 5% of the time. They're looking at something that will resonate. And even if they're very busy, here's the profile. They'll eliminate something less worthy to put something more worthy in their schedule. Because they make the most efficient and effective use of their time. That's why they're successful. So what did I do when I started? I went after people that didn't need another nickel in their life, but I knew they would see the opportunity immediately back in 1993 and 94. And guess what? I was right. They joined me, and they just asked people, told people to come. When statements sometimes are more important than questions. Be at this location at 7:30. And by the way, don't be late. And bring somebody with you. And they show up because of the credibility and the reputation of the person that invited them. That's why. But I'm not going to leave out the person that really needs it. I just knew how fast it would build if I went after the people that had credibility and a reputation. Are you following that conversation?
Yes.
Okay? So this is very, very important. Are you ready for 2017? Because the only way it's going to happen, some of you in here, and I know it, some of you in here are going to have the greatest financial year of your life because you take this seriously. And let me remind you of something that I learned a long time ago from a mentor of mine. It almost sounded too simple to be true. Serious people make serious money. And if you just want to continue to play, and you want to recreate, and you want to just fool around, and you don't really want to focus, and you really don't want to follow things that could be big for you and your family, well then guess what? One day, you'll be wondering why your ship hasn't come in. Well, ships aren't made for the harbor, they're made for rough seas. And your ship has been out there fighting the seas with no captain. So I'm here to tell you, we can captain our own ship here. Instead of concerning yourself with any economy, we can focus on our household economy, which is the most important economy, because the country will not take care of you. Mexico will not take care of its people like the U.S. will not take care of its people. This is the 21st century. We got to find a way to take control over our financial future. Yes or no?
Yes.
This is what we have to do. And if not this, what? If not this for the people of Mexico, then what? Here's what I'm going to tell you. We will be the single greatest direct selling opportunity of all time in Latin America over the next 3 years, and I'm saying that going in there quietly. It is Mexico, you know. So are you ready?
Yes.
I hope you're ready. So I want to talk to you about this. I told you about number 1. Saving people money, getting it for free, feeding nutritional meals to hungry children. Here's number 4. We are starting with what we call an SRP. We're spending millions of dollars right now with 2 very significant social media companies. Every customer that we acquire will have a customer portal. And inside that customer portal, there'll be a social media section. And it'll have a list of all of your social media, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Facebook, whether it be WhatsApp, whatever social media that you're part of. And as soon as you hit the send button, there's going to be messaging in 2 to 3 minute videos that are the most hip, current, fun, exciting videos about saving money, no matter what your carrier is, getting it for free, feeding hungry meals to Mexican children, and there's an opportunity for you to do that and share that. Find out about this from the person that sent you this video. Get in so you can get paid. And every single day, it will send every single person on your contact list messaging in a very, very high-end marketing way. Remember, it's not spam. These are your friends. And then friends share it with other friends. Do you understand? And either you're going to get a return call saying, what is this all about? When, by the way, every time they look at the video, if they open it up, you are going to know about it. How do you like that, folks? And then you wave your mouse over the people that liked it, and then what happens? It populates with all the names of the people that looked at the video. Isn't that how it works? Absolutely. Last but not least, this is your call to action. I'm done here. And I'm going to go home tonight after 11 days on the road, saying the same thing to a bunch of different people. You have to see this for what it means beyond yourself. If you can get the focus off yourself and onto others, that's the first secret of true success in life. So many of us identify success with how much money you make. But people have been married 5 times and have all kinds of kids and all over the planet in different areas of the world. I'm not knocking that. There's situations and circumstances that can, happen. But all I'm saying is successful living is what I believe we should all pursue. How to live correctly. How to pour into other people's lives. So get to the highest position And how do you do that? By sharing this with other Hispanic people. That's it. Only thing I want you to do, I don't want you to convince anybody of anything. Get them in front of the information. Let the information decide. Let adults make adult decisions. Are you in or out? Right? Do you want to make a difference in the country that you came from or not? Yes or no? And if not, who do you know? Who do you know that I can impact that you know? I mean, we could override them or I could override them. We could make the mission or just I can make the mission. So who do you know? Oh, you don't love your mother? You want her to pay more? See what I mean? We can go there. Why? Because it means that much to us to make a difference. So get to the highest position, preferably team coordinator, by October 1st. Learn how to build it here so we can take it there. Do you want 10 people in your business? And I believe every single person on the launch on October 1st could yawn and have 10 people. That means very little, if any, effort. Well, how could I do that, you said? Well, I recruited one person that really was motivated. They recruited 10, which means I got 11. Does that make sense? Now, you may say, oh, that's oversimplification. No, that's called math. Now, how many people would love to get out of the addition and subtraction world and enter the world of multiplication, exponential growth, and geometric progression? See, you know, when you see all these numbers, and Roger did a great job on explaining, you know, everything that he needed to explain, but it's only just a theory, theoretically. How many people realize numbers are perfect, but people are not? On every level, the people be different. It'd be different. It's not going to be two people exactly getting 2. Some will get none, but then some will get 5. One will get 1. One will get 10. You follow that? So I want you to realize it's much better to have many people multiplying than few. True? And that's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know. So I just want to be very clear. Each one of you at the launch could have hundreds of people. Each one of you at the table. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you've done. Each one of you could have over 100 people. Some of you will have 200. I've talked to Jeff Weber before coming here. And he's going to have several thousands. Why? Because he's made up his mind and he knows that he can do it through you, through the people in this room. Okay? So very, very important that you understand that. Remember, first company to ever do it. Industry reputation, #1 in the world that is doing it. That's why the confidence is at an all-time high. And we're going to get this right, folks. We're going to get this one right. We're not a perfect company. I can tell you right now, we're not perfect. But we sure do practice it. Does that make sense? So pre-launch is always very exciting because it's the anticipation of great things to come. We're providing tremendous hope to a wonderful people that desperately need alternatives to the way that they live. And we can provide it through residual income on the service, mobile, that they're using. Think about it. You do your banking with it. You can pay for things now through Google Pay and Apple Pay. We do everything with it. Talk, text, email, everything with it. We can create relationships on it. I don't recommend it. But it's amazing. As a matter of fact, it's almost addicting. Just ask your children. Right? So mobile phones are here to stay. You all agree?
Yes.
And we can provide people alternatives. So I could just simply say in closing, the thought that I have for all of you is a thought that Horace Mann gave me when I heard Les Brown say it. It just stuck with me. And that statement that Horace Mann said was, you should be ashamed to die until you contribute to the advancement of humankind. When I think of that statement and to think about what I just shared with you, I can't imagine making more of a difference to a people than the people in Mexico. And the only thing I can tell you that's going to be better than that is when we go into Colombia. And then when we go into Peru and Chile. We're going to radically take this Flash Mobile brand and make it the most exciting and fun brand that all people in Latin America would love to be part of. We know we're not going to get it all, trust me. But if we get 5% of all the mobile lines in those 4 countries, we will be a multi-billion dollar company. Multi-billion. Think about it, 86 million lines, we just get 2 million lines. If the average bill is $15 US, do the math, right? 30 million a month, right? 360 million a year, and that's just in Mexico. How do we get 5%? How about we get a couple percent in Colombia and Peru and Chile? And you are the ones that are the beneficiaries because none of it has opened up yet. And you can never say for the rest of your life, I was never in the right place at the right time. None of you can say that ever again. Because today, I think I took that away from you. But this is the one. This is the one. This is the moment I've been waiting for 24 years, for 23 years for me. This is the most exciting thing I've ever done. And I hope that you join me. The company owners have never been more committed. The executive team has never been more committed. And I know that I have never been more focused in my life or more effective in my life in doing this ACN program. So I will see you again. God bless. Safe travel. Get home. I'll see you all very soon. Thank you, everybody.